Imagine a galaxy where aliens glassed our worlds, slaughtering billions, but humanity. We don't just fight back with ships and guns, we turn love into weapons. Whimsical puppets cherished by trillions, awaken with a madness only humans could birth. They weren't robots, they were alive. And when the Mar-gite hordes descended, these Feltan-stuffing horrors showed the universe why you never mess with Terra's children. Epic tales of human defiance, against impossible odds. Get your blood pumping like puppets turning into alien shredding legends. Smash that subscribe button and hit the bell. You won't want to miss the next clash where humanity proves we're the galaxy's ultimate survivors. AM. Oskikmo, Oazi to my squad Alanik. Volunteer thrown into the meat grinder of the Mar-gite siege. We'd been fighting for days on this fringe colony in the Cygnus Orion. Spur a world whose name was already fading into the ash-choked sky. The Mar-gite, those silent swarming horrors with their razor darts and endless hunger, had turned paradise into hell. Purple clouds roiled above lightning, clawing like angry gods, and ash rained like forgotten prayers. Jerked awake in my sleeping sling, tangled in a blanket someone had draped over me, my 4 hands reached for my rifle, heart pounding from a nightmare, where the Mar-gite breached my family's shelter back home. You okay, Azzy? Yethi asked from her bunk, her eyes wide in the dim light. We were all in uniform, no time for rest, nightmare. I muttered. She nodded. We all had them outside. The world was a battlefield. Sergeant Breaker, our human NCO, stood at a table with officers pointing at maps. He was a grizzled Terran, the kind who'd name his rifle and talk to it like an old friend. My hypno-training IDD, the weapon he handed me, the M60E19V2 LMG, the pig. Heavy solid, built for Lanik Talon like me, with grips for all 4 hands. I function-checked it without thinking. Loaded belts over my shoulders, and grabbed grenades. A God Talker approached, offering prayer strips. Normally I'd scoff, but today, I let him affix them to the gun, whispering pleas for endless ammo and cool barrels. We prayed together. No half-assing. Survival Breaker shoveled goop from a ration bag. Eat up. Mobile kitchen's gone. The squad gathered, only a handful left from our original team. 7738. The Green manted with his new cyber arm. VNT battered but breathing. We'd lost so many. We can't win, can we? I asked Breaker softly. He glanced at the artillery streaks. Maybe we'll give him hell trying. But as the Mar-gite screams echoed closer, I wondered what dark Terran secret was about to unleash. What if your childhood toys came alive to protect you? Sounds cute until there. Ripping apart invaders' emotional depth and rising action from manted records, we knew the truth. Long before the glassing, that cataclysm where the manted hives nuked Terra's colonies, murdering billions, the puppets were just entertainment. Humans hid off screen, pulling strings for laughs. Muppets, they called them. Felt creatures teaching kids about life. But humans love fiercely. They name bombs, cherish bullets, even pet their garbage disposals. Pour enough belief into something and it changes. By the glassing videos showed Muppets moving alone, no puppeteers. The manted dismissed them as robots. Then came the rage. Humanity's psychic scream awoke dark things. One forgotten battle till a manted farming colony experiment. A single ship crash-landed, outpoured beings of felt and stuffing. No metal, no circuits. Animated by trillions of children's love, now twisted by hate. They howled, glee tearing warriors apart. The manted fled, but hives ignored the tale's fungal mimics, some said. But the manted tasted their essence. Pure, insane whimsy turned weapon. Terrans denied it. Puppets. Alive. Nah, but we aliens sensed it. Human love was a force unpredictable, mad in this war. It surfaced again. Up in orbit, Admiral Crockenwolf stared at holotanks as Mar-gite clusters engulfed the system. Exponential growth. He'd heard of it, but seeing Odina, half-dead teenage avatar of hatred, fire missiles into gas giants, that was human crazy. 20 minutes later, armed rings encircled each giant lattice of guns and pipes, siphoning fuel. C-plus cannons thundered plasma waves, shredded swarms. Ringstorm Commander stern. Human females glared from displays, Odin reported. Rings in place, fortifying planets next. Crockenwolf authorized. It mind reeling at the scope. Equatorial bands, north-south rings, all armed to repel even Patroclus's builders. They called the creators mad geniuses, like Darth Harmonist down planetside. Jane commanded from her bunker, chewing candy straws. Monitors taped haphazardly. No Mar-gite landings in hours. Her forces. XR-71 strikers at Mach 15, corvettes in blue water, biplanes with sirens wailing. But her ace felt Marines. Catgirl fighting Corps' Death Kawaii squads, whimsical horrors born from human Fancy now alive and lethal, she'd sequenced Mar-gite DNA in a clockwork lab, the size of a city, tested bioweapons from the high mutator, fighting boiled to one city shelters. Under siege Jane's timers ticked, 26 hours active planets secured by real people fought below no VX gas. Here she dispatched her dropship engines, howling as artillery hammered. Would the volunteers hold? Or would the Mar-gite breach and feast? Ever wonder if humanity's real edge is our madness turning toys into Terminators? Back on the ground I fired the pig in figure 8 south, humming an old Terran tune to steady my aim. Mar-gite darts whizzed, one grazing my helmet. I raked them back, traces zipping like fireflies. Sergeant Grackle coughed, blood collapsing. VV ran to help, lost his arm to a dartbreaker, dragged Grackle to cover helmetless. Grinning defiantly, biplanes screamed, low guns hammering out of bombs but pouring smoke. Foof out. Ye yelled, launching a rocket that ignited a wall of fire. Artillery cratered the street. Slurry flying, my world narrowed. Impact sirens, the pig's roar. Mar-gite screams from above, orbital streaks nearly touched Toten's lattice, forming teeth. Tourniqueted V slapped an SMG into his hand. Fight or die. I reloaded, prayer strips fluttering like flags of defiance. Missile-streaked particle beams howled. A dropship descended, wings spread, catgirl gunners unleashing vindicators from the doors. Let's go. Breaker bellowed. We piled into hauling Grackle, dragging VI backed up. Firing breaker ran last holes, punched his armor center, then torso. He dropped to one knee, pistol blazing, one-handed volunteer. Azzy, get on. I grabbed hands, pulled aboard. Breaker slumped, slide locking empty. Lunged to save him. Held her. The dropship rose. Mar-gite swarming below the intersection, vanished in bluish flames. Jane's final strike. From manted eyes, all humans didn't just fight. They birthed legends. Puppets now felt Marines, shredded Mar-gite with glee. Aliens, confused, fearing this unpredictability in space. Crockenwolf watched rings expand, siphons mile-wide into stellar plasma. Nivenpack lasers fired sweeping clusters. Harmonious weapons unleashed, solar flares denser than stars mixed with spooky particles. Gibberish. Tech red space. Dead space, but it worked. Victory gleamed planetside. Jane decommissioned units. Lattice-encased worlds. Equatorial rings, angled defenses. Mar-gite eradicated her dropship, saved us. But at cost. But was the madness contained? Or had humanity unleashed something eternal? What if our love could animate the impossible? Would you wield it as a weapon? As we lifted, as he stared down, Breaker's body vanished in the swarm. Then the flames consumed all, but we lived. Jane's whimsy. Forces felt. Marines, catgirls outwitted the horde. Not brute force. Human ingenuity. Puppets born of love, twisted by hate, held the line. Exponential defenses ringed the system. Repelling engulfers, Mar-gite clusters shattered against rings, firing endlessly. The siege broke. Humans didn't overpower. They outlasted, turning madness into salvation. A reversal. Aliens farmed us, but our cherished toys farmed them. Earned through sacrifice like Breaker's last stando. Terrio uniqueness lies in resilience, turning love to defiance, whimsy to weapons. In a cold universe, humanity's fire unpredictable. United burns brightest yet. We outwit fate, outlast horrors, because we believe even in puppets. This was humanity's mad clash with the stars, but the Nova Wars rage on. If you felt that HFY rush, subscribe for more epic battles, like and drop a comment. Is humanity's true weapon our creativity, or our glorious insanity? Tell me, could you stand with the felt Marines against the horde?